Some of you know me as Scrapelux. So today basically I'm starting off, I'm not necessarily saying I'm gonna do vlogs, but I'm just gonna keep you guys up to date as to what I'm doing to the truck itself. Let me show you guys. So that's its current state right now. So for those of you that don't know, this is a 1987 Toyota Pickup, also known as Hilux, and it's a RN50 model. If you guys are not familiar with this truck, I did the hood shock modification. I'm also doing a beam swap. It's a 3S-GE dual VVTi blacktop 5th generation of a 1998 Toyota Altism from Japan. It's a 4-banger that produces around 190 through, I would say between 190 through 205 horsepower on the Altism itself. So basically at this stage, I'm just waiting on electrical. During shipment, both VVTi solenoids broke, so I gotta buy those. They do sell aftermarket, but I don't really trust electrical or aftermarket electrical, so I'm just gonna wait and get the OEM ones. I do have a crew member named Juan that's going to do my wiring. If you guys, I'll comment or I'll tag him below. He's also known as ATM Racked Out on Instagram. He has the same model truck, but with the 1JZ GTE. So basically what I've done since I took the motor out, I did my own brake lines. This is copper nickel. I believe it's 3/16. And I did every bend by hand. I didn't use any tools. The flares, obviously I needed to do it with the tool. So basically I'm converting from M10 by 1 to a 3AN connector. So basically all my fittings are 3AN. Also for the clutch, custom hardline. I did kind of doing that. The only reason I say I kind of was I'm doing custom brake lines, so I should have just taken the time a little bit longer and just waited, gotten some bulkhead fittings to run them through the firewall. That way I could tuck them under the dash and you won't see them through here. That was my I also kind of upgraded the booster vacuum hose. I'm using 6AN hose, nylon hose. I'm using a metal check valve. I deleted the original one, it was old, plastic and yellow and bulky as hell. I didn't like it. So you could barely see it, but it's right there. I also converted the back of the intake to M12 125 to a 6AN, and I just ran a 90 6AN fitting. I mean, it makes it look a lot cleaner, honestly. Same thing for the fuel roll. It's a non-return fuel roll or fuel system, so just one line, that's it, to the fuel roll. I'm using a 6AN 45 with 6AN hose, which is running all the way down there. I'm still using the factory Toyota Pickup radiator, but I'm using a 3-row unbranded radiator. I just got my radiator hoses. I cut them down to length to how I want it. As for the bottom, I still have them the same. It's just I marked them with a blue tape as to where to cut it. Honestly, there isn't much to explain about this truck. It's basically all generically basic. But if those wondering about the beans motor, it uses a Toyota Corolla F1 F2 oil filter. I use the F2 because it is smaller, it fits right in. For the slave, clutch slave, it's a Toyota Pickup slave. The clutch, you could use a Toyota Pickup clutch and pressure plate, but you're gonna have to use the Toyota pilot and release bearing. But that's no biggie. You're going from $500 to let's say a $150 clutch system. It's a big difference when it comes down if you're really counting your money. Fan, it's a 14-inch fan, 3000 CFMs. It's a little overkill for this motor. So those wondering about suspension, so I have 2-inch drop spindles. I have a ball joint flip, which is basically you grab it from the bottom. This is originally bolted at the bottom. Same thing for the bottom. So what you do is just unbolt them, move them to the top. It gives you a 1-inch drop, but it also corrects your camber. I have 4x4 shocks. I don't remember what model I grabbed. I know they're KYBs. Those are my wheel specs. They're 15x10s, -44. I'm using 6-speed lug nuts, but I'm changing those out as soon as the truck's done. I'm using a 195/50 tire. So far, this is my interior. I gutted or stripped it, and then steering wheel, it's a JDM Sport. All I did was just sand it down and paint it to match it the same color as the truck. I'm using a NRG 120 hub. As for the cab, it's a silver metallic from Walmart. As for the dash, it's... Damn, I'm gonna have to get back on that one. I completely forgot which one I used for the dash, but it's basically like a texture. For the doors, I do have riv nuts installed with dress-up bolts. But all of this is going to be ABS plastic. It's just going to be a sheet, so that's going to be looking nice. Windows, I do plan on changing them to new ones. Hydro e-brake, it's not connected right now, but I just have the socket holding it in place. It's a 63 centimeter long hydraulic e-brake from eBay. The original master, it's a piece of China one. I ended up breaking it. So basically at this point, since I did break it, I don't want to get another hydro because I really like this one. It's right next to the steering wheel. So I'm gonna upgrade to a Willwood 0.7 Willwood Master inline. And then also for the hydro lines, I'm taking those out. I'm moving them over there. I'm putting bulkhead fittings, and then I'm gonna run Russell or Edelbrock braided line all the way around here, and then just bam, right there. It's gonna be a lot cleaner. As for the battery relocation wire, I'm also upgrading that. And this is just random ass wires that I found, but I'm actually gonna get Temco 1-0 wire. They call it welding wire, but it's really good material. I'm considering that now that I learned the true basics of real wire compared to just eBay shit. 6-speed transmission. It's the original Altezza R-Beams transmission. It's called a J160. As for tonneau cover, I know I get a lot of questions about it. The company's called Checkmate. It does not exist anymore. It's from the old days. So basically, exhaust is gonna be a 2.5 straight pipe with the 12-inch resonator and 3-inch dual blast tips or blast pipes. There's honestly so much more to this truck that I could go into detail. I guess I'm just gonna spread out from video to video, but it's just too much to put them into all one video. So on the next video, you guys could comment below what you guys want me to go over, or any questions you have. I'll go through them. So comment below, subscribe, and let me know.